Okay, now I want to show you a combination of a Cluck Yelp. All right, and how I use this in the woods is I like to do a few clucks, some yelps, and a few more clucks. And normally the way I gauge whether a turkey's hot or not is he'll gobble after a couple of clucks. You give him the yelp saying, come on over here. Sometimes he'll gobble to that, and then you give him a few more clucks and he gobbles to that. If you get 3 gobbles out of a bird, you've got a huntable bird. Okay? If you do this sequence and nothing gobbles, you need to move to a different area or try it again after a few minutes or what have you. But I have found that this particular call can gauge whether or not a turkey is responding to your calling, and that's how you turkey hunt. You need to know if that turkey is responding to your calling, or maybe a hen you can't hear, he's calling to it. You need to know if he's responding to your calling or not. And this is what I do. I call it the Cluck Yelp Cluck sequence. So you do something like this right here. Okay, so yep, cluck, cluck, yep, 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 cluck, cluck. All right, so work on that, because then you can speed it up. And it gets really interesting when you do that. Now it sounds like this right here. A very excited hen, I've heard them do this right here. Okay? And I've even heard them do this, which I call it the hiccup. Okay? They'll do this right here while they're yelping. Okay? They just throw that little hiccup thing in there. But all it is a cluck and a yelp combined and just kind of mixed in there together. And you got to work on your own rhythm on this. But again, it sounds like this right here. Okay? And a lot of times when they fall down out of a tree, fly down out of a tree, and you can flap your hat, or if you've got a chicken wing or a turkey wing, whatever, flap that against your leg. They'll warm up before they come out of the tree. So they'll do that. That's called a fly down cackle. And they'll actually pop, 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 pop. While they're flying down, they're actually calling with their mouth. You know, doing the cluck and stuff like that in a sequence. And then they hit the ground, they yelp, and then they cluck a few times. And the turkeys, the gobblers, gobble at that right there. Okay? But work on this sequence of calling. It's a very excited sequence of calling, and I've found the turkeys love to gobble to this particular call. So work on that.